West Indian Sea Island cotton. It's a variety of extra long staple cotton that is associated with the highest quality textile. It is a tropical species of perennial that produces yellow flowers and has black seeds. The woven fabric is advertised in the clothing industry as, quote, the ultimate choice for any suiting connoisseur due to its unrivaled softness and second skin-like feel. That product, 12,000 pounds of seed cotton, is at the heart of a legal dispute between Chad Eckert and Gustavo Cardenas. Eckert is the recently named contract holder for the management of the Civic Center. Gustavo is a small farmer from Orange Walk District and is the proprietor of Sea Island Cotton, Belize.
As pretty much a lot of people know us in Orange Walk, we've been in the business of farming West Indian Sea Island cotton for many, many years. And so I am the one who has personally been trying to source other markets, find other people who would want to purchase our unique variety of cotton. And so really and truly, I came in contact with Chad back in 2016, about March 2016, thereabout. No? And the gentleman was he showed a lot of interest that he would want to get into the farming business of West Indian Sea Island cotton. No?
According to Cardenas, both men struck an agreement in September 2016. Eckert would provide financing for the planting and cultivation of 50 acres of cotton trees in San Lorenzo, Orange Walk. From the beginning of production, they reportedly began experiencing difficulties.
October of 2016, that is when we started to do the planting for the agreement that we had in place. And so from the very onset, from the very starting of the business, I mean, I started to have some difficulties with the gentleman. The arrangement was very straightforward. I mean, it wasn't so complicated. However, for some reason, for some parts on his end, we started to have difficulties with getting him to fulfill part of his end of the bargain. And so, so that really put me in a very, very difficult predicament to continue the farming part of the venture. No?
The quagmire that Cardenas now finds himself in is being boxed out of the industry altogether.
The gentleman was, like I said to you, he was interested in getting involved with the Sea Island cotton business. I mean, the guy seemed to be very genuine. He came with a very nice proposal, that he would want to develop the industry in Belize, and so he wanted to get involved. And so definitely we came into some arrangements, but and so yes, indeed, that was actually supposed to be a 3-year agreement, but then sadly to know at the very end, we came into to find out some breaches in the agreement, and so that is why we find myself here. No?
Cardenas says that when Eckert failed to honor his end of the financial commitment, he had to source the monies for the operation to continue.
From the beginning of the production, that was back in October of 2016, from the very planting phase of the production, I started to have some problems with the gentleman. And however, because in October is pretty much like the last month to do the planting, so I decided to put monies of my own to get into the actual planting of the Sea Island cotton. Even though he had already sent some monies for the land preparation, those type of things. However, for the planting, I was having some difficulties getting some monies to continue the farming. So I had to dig into my own pocket to get that going. So from there onwards, we were having difficulties back and forth with sticking to the actual agreement that we had in place.
When it came time to reap, the problems that the business partners had been experiencing all along came to a head. 12,000 pounds of seed cotton were harvested. At
no time he came to me and told me, you know what, we're having some problems, or you're in breach of this or that, whatever the case might have been from his end, from his perspective. He never came to me like that. So when he came to me, he approached me at the end of the crop. He approached me in a sense that we would want to conclude the transaction. And so when he approached me, he said, Mr. Cardenas, we're going to move the cotton, we're going to go wait. And I was pretty much in agreement to that, to move the cotton and take it to the scale. And so, but at the end of the day, the gentleman took the cotton under this guise of wanting to amicably conclude the transaction, and he pretty much took it under his domain. And he took the cotton all the way to a warehouse up in Indian Creek. That is a Mennonite community in the Orange Walk district. when I get to know what he had, what is pretty much his game plan, what he's trying to do, I went to see where the cotton was, because I mean, at the end of the day, we hadn't finalized the transaction.
Cardenas goes on to say that he then visited the owner of the storage facility in Indian Church and agreed that he would return for the product. When he finally did, a week later, Orange Walk police got involved.
I went to see the Mennonite. I told him, look, this cotton belongs to me. We haven't really concluded the transaction. So I told him I'm going to come back and pick up my cotton. And so I took almost a week to repair my warehouse up in Douglas Village. And the following week I went to pick up the cotton along with the police, with the Orange Walk police. They came, we went to pick up retrieve the cotton and take it down to Orange Walk. On the way to Orange Walk, somebody called the chief of police and told him, look, just detain Cardenas and his cotton. They're taking, I guess Chad and his associates called police and they said, look, detain the guy. And anyway, we ended up at the police station, and I brought my attorney. At that time it was Mr. Gonzalez. He came along with me and he explained to the police chief that this matter is a civil matter. It's a dispute between parties. It's not a criminal matter. So at that point we were released and we delivered the cotton to the warehouse in Douglas.
Cardenas was subsequently arrested and held in detention for a week. The matter has since resulted in a lawsuit that remains before the Supreme Court. He says he simply wants what rightfully his from the broken agreement with Eckert. Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Kayatano.